Today, we're diving into the world of green goodness, asparagus. But not just any asparagus. We're talking crispy, flavorful, and oven-baked asparagus. Let's face it, asparagus gets a bad rap. But here's the thing, it's probably because you've been cooking it all wrong. Don't worry, we've all been there. But today, we're gonna change that. Say goodbye to stringy, tough spears and hello to tender, crispy goodness. First things first, let's talk about why baking is the way to go. Sure, you could boil your asparagus, but why would you when baking gives you that perfect tender crisp texture? Plus, it's super easy to keep an eye on your spears in the oven. No more asparagus mush. Baking also allows the natural sugars in the asparagus to caramelize slightly, giving you a depth of flavor you just can't get from boiling or steaming. And let's not forget about those crispy tips, they're like nature's little vegetable chips. Now, let's get down to business. Here's what you'll need: 1 bunch of fresh asparagus, about 1 to 1.5 pounds. 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Salt and pepper to taste. 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. 1 clove of garlic, minced, or 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder if you're in a pinch. And if you're feeling fancy, a 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Prepping asparagus. Alright, let's get cooking. First, crank up that oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit 190 degrees Celsius. While it's heating up, we're gonna prepare our asparagus. Grab your bunch and take a good look at the ends. See those woody, tough-looking bits? Yeah, those gotta go. You can either snap them off with your hands, it's oddly satisfying, or use a knife if you're short on time. Here's a little asparagus hack for you: if you hold a spear at both ends and bend it, it'll naturally snap at the point where the tough part ends and the tender part begins. It's like the asparagus is doing the work for you. Seasoning. Now, here's a pro tip: toss your asparagus in a shallow dish. It makes coating them with our seasoning mix way easier. Speaking of seasoning, let's whip that up. Mix your olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, salt, and pepper in a small bowl. Pour this over your asparagus and give them a good toss. Make sure every spear gets some love. The oil not only adds flavor but also helps the spears crisp up in the oven. And that lemon juice? It brightens everything up and balances out the earthiness of the asparagus. Baking process. Next, spread those bad boys out on a baking sheet. Single layer folks, we want them all to cook evenly. If you crowd them, they'll steam instead of roast, and we're not about that mushy life. Now, here's where the magic happens. If you've got skinny spears, they'll need about 9 to 10 minutes in the oven. For the thicker ones, give them 10 to 12 minutes. After that initial bake, pull them out and give them a toss. If you're going for that cheesy goodness, now's the time to sprinkle on that Parmesan. Then, pop them back in for another 6 to 8 minutes. And voila! You've got yourself some perfectly baked asparagus. They should be tender but still have a bit of snap to them. And that color? Gorgeous green with just a hint of brown. Here's how to tell if they're done: pick up a spear with some tongs. It should bend slightly but still have some resistance. If it's floppy, you've gone too far. If it's still super rigid, give it a few more minutes. Flavor variations. Now, if you're feeling adventurous, here are a few twists you can try: drizzle with balsamic vinegar and sprinkle with fresh herbs for a tangy kick. Baste with melted butter and top with lemon zest for a rich, citrusy flavor. Toss in pesto sauce before baking for an Italian-inspired side dish. Sprinkle it with red pepper flakes for a spicy kick. Add some sliced almonds in the last few minutes of baking for a nutty crunch. Remember, the key to great asparagus is not overcooking it. You want it tender crisp, not stringy or mushy. And don't worry if you undercook it a bit, raw asparagus won't make you sick, so it's better to err on the side of undercooked than overcooked. Got leftovers? No problem. Store them in an airtight container in the fridge. They'll keep for 3 to 4 days. But let's be real, they probably won't last that long because they're just too darn good. Leftover asparagus makes a great addition to omelets, salads, or even as a pizza topping. Get creative with your leftovers. Health benefits of asparagus. Let's talk about why asparagus is so awesome for your body. These green spears are packed with nutrients. They're low in calories but high in fiber, helping you feel full. They're a great source of vitamins A, C, E, and K. They contain folate, which is important for cell growth and DNA formation. They're rich in antioxidants, which help protect your cells from damage. So not only are you making a delicious side dish, but you're also doing your body a favor. It's a win-win. Pairing suggestions. Wondering what to serve with your perfectly baked asparagus? Here are some ideas: grilled chicken or fish for a light, healthy meal. Steak for a classic steakhouse-style dinner. Pasta dishes. Asparagus pairs wonderfully with creamy sauces. As part of a vegetable platter for parties or gatherings. Troubleshooting tips. If your asparagus isn't turning out quite right, here are a few things to check. Make sure your oven is actually at the temperature it says it is. Oven thermometers are cheap and super helpful. Don't overcrowd the pan, give those spears some space. If your asparagus is burning before it's tender, your oven might be running hot. Try lowering the temperature and extending the cooking time. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, let us know in the comments what other veggies you'd like to see us tackle next.